Welcome everyone to Therapeutic Yoga class today. We are going to highlight the abdominals in our Therapeutic Yoga class today. So what you're going to need is a yoga mat. You will need your yoga bolster to begin class. And you will also need a yoga block or something similar to that when we're laying on our back. So just kind of have your yoga block somewhere near you. You're not going to need it in sitting. And then we'll get started. So a therapeutic yoga class on abdominals. So what is that going to include? Let's begin with doing a little bit of an anatomy lesson on what our abdominals are, because a lot of us don't actually understand it. So I want you to figure out where your abdominals are before we work on training them today. So you have a right and a left hand. What I want you to do with your right hand is I want you to place your right hand over the side of your rib cage and point your fingers downward. Take your left hand and point your fingers downward. All right. And so when we look at our abdominal muscles, your fingers right now are pointing. If we go up and down like this, like we're rubbing our belly, your fingers right now are pointing in the direction of one of your oblique muscles. So you have oblique muscles. Oblique, meaning diagonal. Your fingers and your hands are running in a diagonal. You have oblique muscles that run perpendicular to one another. So if my fingers are running towards my belly button, that is your internal obliques. Now, if you just took your hands and you switch your hands so that your hands are kind of running upwards and away from your abdominals, so in this direction, right? So one is this way and one is this way. So they run like this, if you can imagine. So if you did the opposite direction of your obliques, that is your external oblique. So you have shallow abdominals on the side of your body and deeper abdominals on the side of your body. But guys, here's the thing about your oblique muscles. They're paper thin. So what we want to do when we're really thinking about strengthening our oblique muscles is we need to combine our exercises with breathing. Hello, therapeutic yoga, right? So that if you're combining your inhale and exhale, that means you're going to be changing your intra-abdominal pressures. You can guarantee that you're going to be really strengthening these things that are on the side of your body. Now, on the front of your body, running straight up your abdominal region, the reason they're called abdominals is they contain your abdominal region. The one that runs completely up and down your spine in the front is called your rectus abdominis muscle. So it attaches all the way down to your pubic bone and comes all the way up and attaches up onto your rib cage. So it's the big mover of your abdominals. It's the one that people like to focus on in the fitness world to get the 6-pack, 8-pack, however many packs they have, because it is the chief abdominal muscle that is responsible for bending your body or flexing your body forward. The fourth and last abdominal muscle you have is your transversus abdominis muscle. Now, the transversus abdominis, also known as your lower abdominal muscle, is the one that runs all the way around your lower abdominal and pelvic region. So the thing that people don't understand is that your lower abdominal muscle attaches all the way back here. It doesn't attach to bone back here. It attaches to connective tissue called fascia. And so when you have a muscle that attaches to not bone the whole way around, oftentimes that muscle becomes very, very weak and very, very inhibited, meaning it doesn't know when it should work and when it shouldn't work. So we are going to be doing exercises today to focus on all 4 abdominal muscles: your internal obliques, your external obliques, your rectus abdominis, and your transversus abdominis. We don't have all of those muscles necessarily weak on every single person, but we are going to spend an entire yoga class today focusing on all 4 of those with our poses and our breathing. Now that I've said all that, have yourself a seat on your yoga bolster. By all means, if you feel comfortable sitting in a chair to begin this, you can do that. Make sure that you feel like you've got your legs in a comfortable position, that your knees are relaxed and sitting hopefully below your hips. And then allow yourself to take your pelvis and just go through rolling your pelvis forward and backward a couple of times so that you can find what your neutral pelvis position is. Remember, to begin, that means that you're kind of sitting on the highest point of your pelvis on those sit bones. Sit your spine up nice and tall. Let's kind of set our shoulder blades here. Let's take those hands, bring them into a tray position. Shrug those shoulders up, rotate those arms out, and then pull those elbows back and down. Really feel that squeeze between the shoulder blade muscles, and then drop your hands back down onto your thighs. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now, if we stayed right here, we would all just slump and start to roll our pelvis back because we need to get on our pelvic floor. So allow yourself from your hip joints to gently hinge the entire body a little bit forward until you feel that glorious weight go through your legs. Okay, so this is the position we're beginning class in. And we're starting with one particular breathing exercise that is the best yoga breathing exercise for abdominals. And it is called Kapalabhati breathing. Kapala, which means skull, Bhati, which means light. So it is also called the skull shining breath. One of the reasons it's called the skull shining breath is it's an energizing breathing technique. So excellent technique to do if you're having a midday slump, to do this for a round or two. But the reason this exercise is also called skull shining breath is it's allowing your entire spine to be energized, and therefore obviously shine your skull and waken your body up. Now, the key muscles that are used with Kapalabhati breathing, you've got it, are your 4 abdominal muscles. So this is a very good breathing exercise to really kind of clean out some toxins through your liver, through your stomach, and through your pancreas. So one other reason to do this exercise. Now, I want to make a quick note before we go through doing this exercise technique today for breathing, and that is, if you are pregnant, if you have uncontrolled blood pressure issues, please be careful doing this exercise because it may not be favorable for you. Outside of that, just allow yourself to make sure that when you're doing this breathing exercise, you stay in control of the breathing exercise and the breath doesn't control you. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Stay in that beautiful posture. Make sure that those shoulder blades are back and down and you feel those muscles between your shoulder blades engaged. We're going to start with doing just a couple of diaphragmatic breaths. So if you need to feel with a hand that your diaphragm is in fact moving, place a hand on your belly just above your belly button and just allow yourself to take a nice slow deep inhale. Belly expands outward, and then as you exhale, belly relaxes inward. You've got it. Let's do that a couple more breaths. Deep, slow inhale, and then slow exhale. One more breath. Nice, deep, slow inhale, and slow exhale. All right, the skull shining breath. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a slow, deep inhale, and then through your nose, you're going to quickly contract your abdominal muscles. And as you quickly contract your abdominal muscles, you're going to push air out through your nose. You do not want to see the rest of your body moving. So your shoulders shouldn't be shrugging, your spine shouldn't be moving, you shouldn't see any funny gyrations through your body. You should just feel your abdominals moving like mine are now. So let me demonstrate for quick 5 breaths of it. And then we're going to try to do it for 3 sets of 10 breaths. So a nice slow deep inhale in and exhaling quickly out. That's all there is to it. And so all you're trying to do is spit that air out through your nose as you contract those abdominal muscles in. So let's give it a try for 10 quick exhalations. Make sure there's weight through your legs, your pelvic floor is supporting you. Nice, slow, deep inhale in. Here we go. That's it. That's all there is to it. How'd you do it? Were your shoulders moving? Was your spine moving? Or was it just the abdominals exercising? Round two, let's give it a try. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with this so you can really focus on your abdominals. Nice deep inhale in. 10 breaths out. Very good. One more time. Let's do it. Nice deep inhale in. And 10 quick exhales out. All right. So that's Kapalabhati breathing. Now, if you're doing it in the traditional yogic style, traditionally what people do is they would do 30 quick breaths together. So you really fatigue those abdominal muscles out. If you feel your health is safe at home to do that, then by all means doing it. All that I wanted to show you today was one wonderful exercise to strengthen your abdominals. So kind of put this exercise for breathing on your list of breathing exercises that you might try through the day, particularly in your midday slump, because remember, it will shine your skull. It will wake you up. All right, let's get on to this abdominal class, shall we? So keep yourself in a seated position. First abdominal that we're going to be working on is focusing on that rectus abdominis, merely by doing a seated cat-cow. So all I want you to do is take an inhale, roll the pelvis forward, lengthen the rib cage up, lengthen your neck and look up. Grab the fronts of your knees, and then as you exhale, really pull those abdominals in, curl that rib cage down, tuck that tailbone in, feel those abdominal muscles contracting. Let's do this 4 more times. So inhale, roll the pelvis forward, lift that chest, lengthen all the way up. And as you exhale, really feel yourself pulling your abdominals up and in as the rib cage drops, chin to chest, gazing at that belly button area. Inhale, fully through that extension as you stretch that rectus abdominis. And then as you exhale, really crunch yourself down and allow yourself to shorten and engage that rectus abdominis. I think we have 2 more. Let's inhale and lengthen. And exhale and shorten and shorten and shorten and shorten and shorten. You've got it one more time. Inhaling, lengthening, inhaling, lengthening, inhaling, lengthening. Oh, that feels like such a good stretch. And exhaling and shortening and exhaling and shortening and exhaling and shortening and exhaling and shortening. Beautiful. And then come back up to the seated position. All right. One last thing to do in sitting before we hit this yoga mat. So a very quick and gentle exercise to strengthen the obliques. Now make sure your spine is nice and tall. Make sure you feel the weight in your feet and into your pelvis. Shoulder girdles are back and down. So get that position of your shoulder blades, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and take your arms and place your left arm out to the side, your right arm forward. You've got it. So it's kind of like your arms are making an L shape, right? Arms are still below shoulder height. Take a nice deep inhale here. As you inhale, feel your rib cage lift off your pelvis. And then as you exhale, just gently touch the right hand to the knee, the left hand to the back of the bolster. So it's not a fixed or very, very difficult spinal twist, but you are using all of those beautiful obliques, internal obliques on one side, external obliques on the other side. All right. So inhale, bring your arms back up to that starting position. You've got it. Exhale, gentle twisting as you use all of those oblique muscles to the left. 3 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling, gentle twist to the left. And inhaling up. And exhaling, twisting to the left. And 1 more time before we do the right side. Inhaling. And exhaling, gentle twist to the left. Beautiful job. Bring your body back to the center. Left arm is up and forward, right arm is out to the side. And then in this position, check in that you're on your pelvic floor. Spine is nice and long, neck is long, chin is tucked inward. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. And as you exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand to the back of your bolster. You got it. Inhale, lengthen as you uncurl those oblique muscles. Exhale, 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 exhale as you twist and shorten those oblique muscles. You've got it. 3 more times. Inhaling exhaling, and inhaling, and exhaling. And one more time, nice deep inhale and nice slow exhale into those obliques. Beautiful. And then slowly turn yourself back to the center. All right, time to get off this bolster. So bring yourself onto your hands and knees. And as you bring yourself onto your hands and knees, take your bolster and just gently move it off to the side. And once you have your bolster moved off to the side, find yourself into your hands and knees position. Now check in that those knees are hip distance. Find those feet behind you. Make sure that they line up with your knees. Knees and hips stack directly one on top of the other, and then walk those hands forward until you feel like your wrists and elbows are underneath your shoulders. Check in that your hands are shoulder distance and that your index fingers are forward and your thumbs are pointed inward. All right, so cat pose is an excellent exercise to work those rectus abdominis muscles in a safe way for your low back. So a lot of people love sit-ups and a lot of people love crunches, but both of those exercises are a no-go in my world because they're very compressive to those discs of your low back. But in this position, you can safely curl that spine and that pelvis without putting undue stress onto those discs. So let's go through 5 cat-cows today with the focus on the cat. All right, here we go. So take your inhale, sink your tailbone, or lift your tailbone, sink your belly, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen up. Now on this exhale, allow yourself to exhale through that nose and exhale and give yourself every last bit of exhale you have today. Curl, crunch that rib cage towards that pelvis. You've got it. Inhale, drop that belly down, lift that tailbone up, shoulder blades back and down, lengthen that neck, look up. Now, keep that exhale going, guys. Exhale, 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 exhale. Really curl it, really curl it, really curl it. Beautiful. And inhale, lengthening through those abdominal muscles. Get that tailbone up, get that gaze upwards. Now, strong exhale for me. Exhale and exhale and exhale. Think of that Kapala bottom breathing and really pulling those abdominals in. And inhale. Find yourself in your beautiful cow pose for a moment. Great lengthening of the abdominals. And exhale, 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 exhale. You got it. One last time here. Inhaling, lengthening your abdominals, lengthening and lengthening and lengthening. And then exhaling and exhaling and exhaling and exhaling. And finally, slowly start to sit yourself back into your child's pose. Now, as you settle back into your child's pose, make sure that you feel like your sit bones are going in the direction of your heels and your toes didn't fall inward. Nice little relaxation for your abdominals, but really a good opening through your low back since we're spending so much time on abdominals today. So take the time to let your belly rest on your thighs and your chest rest against your knees. Gently soften your elbows and then slowly allow the crown of your head to come down to the floor. Now, in this position, allow yourself to gaze back at those toes and line them up so that they're in alignment with your hips and knees. And then begin a slow, deep inhale into that diaphragm. Increase that abdominal pressure. Stretch out that transversus abdominis muscle, that thing that goes all the way around to our back. And then slowly exhaling out. Gentle inhaling in. And then slowly exhaling out. And then allow yourself to gently bring yourself up. Okay, we are doing plank pose. And we're also going to play, for a lot of you that don't have strong wrists and issues with your hands, we're going to play with plank pose in dolphin position. So I'm going to show you full plank pose. We're going to try that once, but if your wrists and hands don't have it in you, I'm going to show you dolphin plank pose, which for a lot of us is actually a little bit of a better abdominal strengthening exercise because it allows us to take half of our arms out of the equation. So here's what I want you to do. Keep your knees and feet exactly where they are and walk your hands forward until you get to the position that you feel like 80% of your weight is through your hands. So if I'm here, I have about 50% of my weight through my hands, and that's 60, and that's 70, and that's about 80. So find that point for you that there's a lot more weight through your hands than there are through your knees. Now, in this position, if you have really weak abdominals, you can stay here in a modification of plank pose. What I want you to do, though, is allow yourself to contract those abdominals, brace it. Make sure that you see that your spine is nice and long. That means pushing those shoulder blades up, lengthening through that neck, settling that chin and gazing down towards those thumbs. Push into your index fingers and your thumbs to really get the engagement of the upper part of your body. So here you have it, your plank pose. Now, if you want to add the lower quadrant component of your plank pose, turn your toes under. Once you're turning your toes under, allow yourself to straighten your knees and push back into your heels. So as you straighten your knees and push back into your heels, you now have taken control of that whole trunk through your hands and your legs. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, push into that index fingers and thumbs, and voila, here is your plank pose. So give me a nice deep inhale in. Hope you're shaking. Exhaling out. And again, nice deep inhale in. Exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhaling in. And exhaling out, drop yourself down onto your knees, place the tops of your feet back onto the floor, walk yourself back into your child's pose, sit yourself down. How are your wrists? If you don't have really strong wrists, they're probably not very happy with you now because you just did a plank or a modification of a plank. I was timing you for 30 seconds. So we're going to do a second plank, but we're going to do it in what is called Dolphin Plank pose. Now, what that means is we're just taking half of our arms out of the equation. So settle yourself onto your heels, let your belly rest, let your chest rest, drop your elbows down, give yourself those 2 breaths between. I hate it when I have hairs on my mat. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, guys. Allow yourself to take 2 deep abdominal breaths here. So nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. All right. So make your way back up onto hands and knees, but we're not going to stay on our hands, but get yourself back into that position to make sure that you have your starting alignment. Once you have yourself there, drop yourself down onto your elbows. Once you're down onto your elbows, that is the component of your plank that will be dolphin pose today. So what I would then like you to do is to walk your hands forward and then bring your shoulders over your elbows. Find that point for you that you feel that there is approximately 80% or so of your weight in your arms. Now, let's do this the right way, ladies and gentlemen. So brace and tighten through your abdominals. Make sure that your spine is nice and long. Allow yourself to push that index finger that's straight ahead into the floor. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze down to your mat. All right, so here's modification of dolphin plank pose. Want to make it harder? Turn your toes under. Once you turn your toes under, allow yourself to straighten through the knees and push through those heels and drop those hips. You have it. Okay, dolphin plank pose. I hope you feel your abdominals and really your entire core shaking here. Allow yourself to push those shoulder blades away, lengthen that neck, settle that chin, holding yourself right here. Give me an inhale and an exhale. Nice deep inhale and an exhale. Drop the knees down, place the tops of your feet on the floor, walk your elbows back, and sit yourself into child's pose. Well, we've done 2 planks. You know that we've got one more left in us, right? So let's allow ourselves to rest through our low back. And then we're going to make that dolphin plank pose just a little bit harder today. So take a nice deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. All right, let's get to our third and last front dolphin plank pose. So bring yourself up onto hands and knees. Alignment is key if you want to get all those muscles. So I like to make sure that everybody is getting all of their alignment cues. Now, in this position, allow yourself to drop your elbows down where your hands just were. Make sure that those index fingers are pointed forward. Okay, right here, chances are you have a little bit of weight on your arms more than your legs. So now you want to walk yourself forward until you feel that 80% or so of your weight goes onto your arms. Shoulders are directly on top of those elbows. Index fingers are forward. Push between those shoulder blades, really lengthen through that upper body. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gaze down to your mat. All right, this might be where you stay today, maybe dropping your hips a little bit. But let's add the lower quadrant if you're ready for it. Turn your toes under. When you're ready, lift those knees, engage the quads, push back into the heels, drop the hips on down. Okay, so we did this already. Let's make it a little bit harder if you want to. Holding this position, can you lift your right foot just an inch off the floor? Take an inhale and exhale, and then drop it down. How about that left foot? Can you lift the left foot an inch off the floor? Can you still take a breath? Inhaling in, exhaling in, dropping that foot down. One more inhale, one more exhale, and then drop your knees, top of the feet to the mat, and walk yourself back. We're done with that plank. I think we've done plenty for those abdominals in that position. So allow yourself again to settle your sit bones to your heels, belly to thighs, chest to knees, elbows come down, rest the crown of your head on your floor. Last 2 breaths in this position, and then we're moving on to another set of abdominal yoga-inspired exercises. Take a deep inhale in and exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. You've got it. All right, now you're going to be laying on your side. Now, what I would like you to do, laying on your side, if you know that you struggled with those planks that we just did, you might want to get your bolster and let it help you for side plank. Now, if you're like, I've got this in me, I want to give this side plank a good gusto, then don't use your bolster. But I do want to show you how you would modify side plank with your bolster before we get started. So what you would do if you know that you either have maybe some not so good rotator cuffs and not so good shoulders, okay, because you're going to have your arm in an abducted position here. So sometimes the shoulders don't necessarily like it, is you can use the bolster to rest your body weight on as you work through the lower half of the plank. So it takes a little bit of your body weight off of the shoulder. So if you feel at home that that's something that you want to do, you can take that bolster and place it underneath your rib cage. You can even put it in its longer position so that it completely unloads that shoulder as you work on side plank. So if you want to do that, by all means, put yourself in the position that you can use that bolster and give that shoulder a little bit of a break. Just wanted to show you that modification. For the rest of us that want to try side plank without the bolster, here's where I need you. I need you on your elbow on the left side, shoulder directly underneath that, index finger pointed straight forward. Take your top foot and place your top foot on your floor somewhere between your knee and your hip. And then take your left leg and bring your left leg straight out on your mat. Once you have that, A lot of us in this position, our rib cage and our trunk kind of points downward. So take your entire rib cage and line it up with your arm that is already resting on the floor. Okay, so side plank, primarily for the oblique muscles, but because you are bracing, you are really firing every part of your core that is engaged. Let's do the modification first, and we'll do the harder and then the hardest as the second and the third. So in this position, allow yourself to shoulder blades are set. So really feel yourself kind of pulling those shoulder blades back and down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Point your toes towards your head on the left foot. Take a deep inhale, bracing through the abdominals. On the exhale, lift your hips off the floor. The right leg is helping you here. So for a lot of us, this may be our side plank. You can bring your right arm up in the air if you so desire. So side plank number one, side plank number two, let the right leg go. So bring the right leg on top of the left leg. And finally, side plank number three, if you got it in you today, lift that right leg up in the air. Let's hold here for a deep inhale and an exhale. And one more time, nice deep inhale and exhale. And drop the right leg down, drop the left hip down, and push yourself up into a seated position. Flip yourself to the opposite side. Let's do our right side plank. So once you're in this position, again, if you're using the bolster, use the bolster to save the shoulder if you're not loving your shoulders today. That would be my recommendation. But place your elbow on the floor so that it is directly underneath your shoulder. Index finger lines up with the forearm, directly forward in line with the shoulder. And then once you have yourself here, obviously bolster goes right here if you need it. Once you have yourself here, turn the rib cage so that you have all of yourself in the same plane of movement. The left leg comes forward, the right leg straightens. So get yourself so that the right foot, right knee and hip lines perfectly up with this trunk. Then the left leg is going to help us get into side plank today. So take a nice deep inhale, tighten through those abdominals. And as you exhale, lift up using obliques and all those abdominals. Really good for your hip muscles too, by the way. Left arm can be up in the air if you so desire. All right, so step one, you stay right here for those 3 breaths. Step 2, if you would like, take the left leg and place it on top of the right leg. And finally, step 3, allow yourself to lift that left leg up in the air, holding right here, taking a nice deep inhale and an exhale. Make sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. Take a deep inhale and exhale, dropping the left foot down, dropping the right hip down, and allowing yourself now to lay down through your side. Now, as you lay down through your side, roll yourself onto your back. Here is where we are for the rest of our abdominals. So make sure, please, as you get yourself comfortable onto your back, that you have that yoga block somewhere near you because you're going to need it. All right, lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Let's just do a little stretch through our low back and our gluteal muscles here. So in this position, what I'd like you to do once you feel like you've got your shoulder blades underneath you is just take your right knee to your chest. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently pull that knee to your chest. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Now let's just do a couple of beautiful deep inhales and exhales here. So nice, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. One more time. Nice, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. You've got it. Gently release the right foot to the floor. Let's take the left knee to the chest. Once that left knee is to the chest, nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, pulling that knee to the chest, getting yourself in that comfortable position, lengthening your neck, settling your chin. All right, staying right here. Let's take a nice deep inhale into our belly. And exhaling out. And just one more time here. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Most excellent. Releasing the left foot to the floor. Now, I like to, before I really begin to focus on that lower abdominal, that transversus abdominis, I like to make sure that my hip flexors, specifically the psoas muscle, has a little bit of wiggle room and a little bit of play. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something just to gently kind of open up the area of the front of our abdominals on each side. Give it a little stretch before we kind of tackle those lower abdominals for the remainder of this class, by the way. So here's what I want you to do. Take both of your hands and bring your hands to where your right pelvic bone is. Once you have that right pelvic bone area, kind of take your fingers and dig into your belly. Your pooch may be small, you may not have any pooch, or you may have a couple of pooches. Go underneath the pooches. Put the pooches in the palms of your hands, and then gently cupping your hands around your abdominal muscles, just kind of slowly pull your abdominal tissue up towards your head. Now, as you hold that, allow yourself to gently slide that right leg down. Hopefully, if you got a hold of your pooch as well, you get a nice, good little burn in that abdominal area on this right side. Stay there. Let the burn happen. Take a nice deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out, maybe if you're lucky, the burning is starting to decrease. Give me a nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. You've got it. Now keeping the right leg straight. Take the left leg and bring it up to your chest. Nice deep inhale, and then as you exhale, pull that left knee into your chest. Good opening now through those right hip flexors before we start to use those to strengthen our abdominals. So allow the left knee to stay to your chest, lengthen your neck, settle your chin, and just on this right side, start to push the entire leg into the floor. Feel your glutes engage as you open up through those hip flexors. Keeping that contraction of your glutes, give me a nice slow deep inhale into your belly. And exhaling out. One more breath for me, please. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Relax the gluteals. Slide the right leg back up on the mat. Release the left foot to the floor. Well, let's do it all over again on the left side. So take both hands. Figure out where that hip pointer is in the front of your pelvis. Go to the inside of that area where you're on your pelvic abdominal pooch. I call it a pooch. I don't know if that's actually, certainly not a medical term, by the way. All right, stick your fingers kind of on in there, kind of get the abdominal tissue. Is that a better word, baby? Probably. And allow yourself to grab it and pull it up towards your head. All right. Once you have it pulled up towards your head, take that left leg and slide that left leg down. Good golly. I'm tight. All right. I hope you feel lots of burning at home like I'm feeling. Allow yourself to feel that tension and that burning through those tissues of your abdominals there. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, maybe put a smile on your face, pretending that this isn't the most awesome thing in the world to do, but breathe into your belly. As you're doing that, that burning starts to dissipate. That is you loosening up that connective tissue so we can get the best abdominal contraction in the world. Do one more nice deep inhale and an exhaling here. Beautiful. Release the hands away from the abdomen. Keep the left leg straight, and then take an inhale. Right knee comes up to your chest, and then as you exhale, pull that knee into your chest. All right, now keep the right knee into your chest, that left leg. Really start to open up through those hip flexors, so much so that you even engage your glutes. So start to push the entire leg down onto the floor. You'll feel that opening through those hip flexors there. As you push that leg down into the floor, your glutes are getting some nice, good training. All right, take a deep inhale here and an exhale. And one more time, nice deep inhale and an exhale. You've got it. Now, keep your right knee to your chest, slide your left leg up, and then bring your left knee to your chest. Hug those hands around those knees. Allow yourself to open up that pelvic floor, your glutes, your low back, because we are about to find our lower abdominal muscle. So let's take a nice couple deep inhales and exhales here first. A deep inhale into the belly, and then exhaling out. Deep inhale into the belly, and exhaling out. All right. Allow your neck to lengthen, settle your chin. Allow your knees to come slightly away from your chest. So your knees should be in front of your hips. So you don't want your knees so far away that they line up with your hips. Have your knees in front of your hips. Slowly bring your toes up, point your toes towards your head, and then take your hands and place your hands on the front of your thighs. So we're going to use those strong hip flexors to get that entire transversus muscle to wake up. So here's what I want you to do. Allow yourself here to place your hands onto your thighs. And then very slowly start to push gently the hands into the thighs, but don't let the thighs move. All of a sudden, what you'll begin to feel is a little bit of shaking as you're turning those muscles on. Now, if you've got efficient muscles, they'll turn on and stop shaking pretty quickly, but a lot of us may not have efficient muscles, so it just keeps shaking and shaking and shaking. One quick trick to kind of stop the shaking faster rather than slower. Imagine, if you can, you're trying to pull your leg bones away from the floor. And as you kind of lift your fingertips up towards the ceiling, you may feel the shaking increase more. Our goal is to get past that shaking. What we're going to do is take 3 breaths while we're holding this. So a nice deep inhale in and an exhale out. Hopefully your shaking is gone at home. Nice deep inhale in and an exhale out. Do you have one more breath for me as you contract here? Deep inhale in and exhale out, and slowly bring your knees back to your chest. Relax your feet. All right, let's do it again, but let's focus this time on trying to get a little bit more obliques turned on. So place your knees in the same position in front of your hips. Take your toes and point them up. Make sure your heels are lower than your knees. This time, take your right hand, place it on your left thigh. Take your left hand and place it on your right thigh. Now allow yourself to lengthen your neck, settle your chin. Slowly begin to push the hands into the knees. Keep the thighs where they are. Start to feel that shake. Same idea here. Want to feel more of the shake and get through it quicker. Allow yourself to feel like you're pulling your leg bones towards the ceiling as you're lifting those fingers up towards the ceiling. All right, let's do those 3 breaths here. Nice deep inhale in and exhaling out. Nice deep inhaling in, exhaling out. Are you feeling your hip flexors now? You see why we did what we did. Deep inhaling in and exhaling out, and then bring those knees back to the chest, maybe even a little rocky. All right, now we're about abdominals today. So grab your yoga block. Take your yoga block and place your yoga block so that it is touching both of your thighs. Hands are on the yoga block. Yes. So now in this position, the hands are on the block is on the knees or the thighs. Take the toes and point the toes up. Now here's what I want you to do. Gently push the block into the thighs into the block. Spine should be perfectly stable here. You should not feel it moving off or pushing too hard down onto the floor. Now, left hand, left block, left thigh. Keep it all engaged on the left side. With your right foot, take an inhale, and on the exhale, slowly drop the right heel to the floor. Can you feel the shaking happening with the left side? Inhale, bring the right knee back to the block. Exhale, drop the right heel to the floor. Let's do 5 of these. That's number 2. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, dropping. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, dropping. Inhaling, lifting. Oh, you've got one more in you. I know you do. Exhaling, dropping. And inhaling, lifting. And relax those knees to your chest. Rock it and roll it if you need to. You know we've got the left leg left, right? Okay, so take a deep inhale here and exhale. Pull those knees to your chest. Let's do 2 deep belly breaths here. So nice deep inhale into the belly. Stretch that low back out if you're overusing it. Exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. All right. Bring those knees again back to that position. Take that yoga block, place that yoga block onto both thighs, hands onto the yoga block. Toes, point them up into the ceiling. All right, now in this position, gently hands to block, block to thighs, thighs to block. Get all of that engagement through the abdominals that we need to brace and keep our spine nice and stable. Now focus on the right hand, yoga block, right thigh. Left hand doesn't really have anything to do here. Here we go. Take an inhale here, and then on the exhale, lower the left heel to the floor. Nothing moves on the spine. Inhale, bringing the knee and the thigh back to the block. Exhaling, dropping that heel down. We're doing 5, ladies and gentlemen. Inhaling, lifting up. I hope you're shaking. I hope your spine is stable. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. I don't know if that was 2 or 3. I think it was, this is 3 maybe, who knows? Inhaling back up. Let's do 2 more. Exhaling down. Inhaling back up. And exhaling down. Inhaling back up. You've got that. And exhaling, bringing your knees to your chest. How are your abdominals feeling? Yeah, mine are feeling it too. All right, so give yourself a little shake. Pull your knees nice and tight to your chest. Let's do 2 diaphragmatic breaths here. So nice deep inhale into the belly. Exhaling out. One more time, deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. All right, so cup half full. We've got 1 hard abdominal exercise left. What we shall do right now is give our hip flexors a little bit of love, and then we'll end with that final exercise. So take both hands to the left knee here. Take a deep inhale in, and as you exhale, pull your knee to your chest. Right leg, inhale, kick it all the way out, and then as you exhale, drop it down to the floor. Right glutes. Squeeze and lift, open up through the front of that hip in case they are a little sore right now because your abdominals are weak and they're doing too much. Allow yourself a deep inhale here and exhaling out. One more breath, deep inhaling in and exhaling out. You've got it. Slide the right foot flat and then bring the right knee up to your chest. Both hands around the right knee. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, pull that right knee into your chest. Left leg, inhale, kick it out. Exhale, drop it down. And then start to squeeze and lift through those left glutes. Feel that hip opening. Take a deep inhale here. And an exhale out. Just one more breath in. And one more breath out. Slide that left leg foot flat on the floor and then bring that left knee to the chest. Final hurrah, final abdominal exercise. Take your yoga block, place the yoga block against the thighs. You got it. Hands are on the block, blocks on the thighs, toes, point them up. Start with turning the engine, revving it, getting everything fired. So gently pushing hand and block into thighs, feeling everything engaged. Make sure that spine stays stable and is not moving off the floor or pushing too hard into the floor. Now, here's what we're doing this time. Focus on the left hand, pushing into the left thigh. Keep everything stable. Take an inhale, Right leg on the exhale, kick the leg and straighten the knee. On the inhale, bring it back in, touch the block. Exhale, kick. Inhale, straighten, bring it back in. Exhale, straighten that knee. Inhale, bring it back in just 2 more times. Exhale, kick it. Inhale, bend it. And last time, exhale, kick it. How's your abdominals feeling? Inhale, bring it back in. Move the block away, knees to chest, rock and roll. Left side left, and I promise, ladies and gentlemen, we will be done with these abdominals today. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Beautiful. Knees away from chest. Block on thighs. Hands on block. Toes, pull them up. Begin to push. Hands into block. Block into thighs. Thighs into block. Get it all revved up. Get the motor engine going. Get those firing abdominal muscles 5 times on this left leg. All right, right hand, block thigh. Keep that engagement going. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, straighten and kick that left leg out. Inhale, touch that block. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, touch that block. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, touch the block. Exhale, kick it out. Last time. Inhale, touch the block. Exhale, kick it out. And inhale, touch the block. Throw the block into another room. You're done with it. And bring your knees into your chest. All right, 4 abdominal muscles. Rectus abdominis, internal oblique, external oblique, transversus abdominis. There's not a piece of any 4 of those that we have not worked today. So let's do a nice, beautiful spinal twist and let our body find some stillness. So stay with your left knee to your chest. Drop your right foot down to the floor. And then slide your right leg down onto the floor. Let's do one quick opening here through the right hip flexor before we go into our spinal twist. So left knee, nice deep inhale. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest. Right leg, squeeze the glute, open up through the front of those hip flexors. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhaling out. One more breath. Nice deep inhale. And exhaling out. You've got it. Left foot, place it on the right thigh. Right hand to the left knee. Right hand out to the side of your body. Take a nice deep inhale here. And as you exhale, left knee twists across the body. Pelvis lifts, low back lifts. Rib cage lifts, beautiful lengthening through those oblique muscles. Keep the left shoulder blade down, lengthen your neck, settle your chin and turn your gaze to the left. All right. Let's do 2 beautiful breaths here. So nice deep inhale into the belly and exhaling out. One more time, deep, slow inhale into the belly and exhaling out. Gently bringing your head back to the center, starting at that left rib cage and unrotating it first, followed by the low back, followed by the pelvis, followed by the hip, placing the left foot on the floor. Slide the right leg up and then take the right knee to the chest. Once the right knee is to the chest, slide the left leg down. Now, right knee, take a deep inhale in, and as you exhale, pull it into your chest. Left leg, squeeze that glute, final opening up of that hip flexor. Take a deep inhale here and exhaling out. One more time, nice deep inhaling in and exhaling out. Relax your gluteals. Right foot comes to the left thigh, left hand to the right knee. Right hand out to the side of the body. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, twisting that knee to the left, allowing the low back, a pelvis first, low back, rib cage, right shoulder blade stays down. Lengthen your neck, settle your chin, gazing into that right hand. Let's do 2 beautiful breaths here. So nice deep inhale into the belly And exhaling out. One more time here. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And exhaling out. Slowly bringing your head back to the center, starting at the right rib cage, de-rotating it down first, followed by the low back, followed by the pelvis, followed by the hips. Slide the left leg up, bring the left knee to your chest, bring the right knee to your chest. One last beautiful hug. Take those knees into your chest. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale, pull the knees to the chest. Shoulder blades are back and down. Neck is long. And chin is gently settled into the throat. Tongue to the roof of the mouth here. 2 awesome inhales and exhales through that belly. Deep inhaling in. And exhaling out. One more time. Nice deep inhale in. And exhaling out. Slowly dropping the right foot to the mat, followed by the left. Keeping that nice, comfortable, neutral position of your pelvis and your lumbar spine. Sliding one leg down to one corner of the mat, followed by the other leg down to the other corner of the mat. Releasing any tension through your hips, your abdominals, your gluteals, rolling the shoulder blades underneath you, gently allowing your hands to rest out to the side of you. Lengthening your neck, settling your chin. Taking that tongue, resting it on the roof of your mouth so the tip touches the back of the top teeth. All right, we're going to allow ourselves to relax through 3 diaphragmatic breaths here. So as you take a slow inhale into your nose, let your belly expand upwards to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, just let that balloon of a belly deflate completely. So just a nice little stretch of all of those abdominals that we've kind of worked out today. And deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. And one more breath. Nice deep inhale into the belly. And then exhaling out. And now relaxing your body. Letting everything be still. Slowly breathing your normal rate. Maybe just gently feeling that abdominal area rising and lowering with every breath. Keeping your body still. Keeping your focus on your abdominal area. Letting thoughts come and acknowledging them and letting them go. Back to the belly we go. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and maybe some circles with the wrists and the ankles. And then when you feel comfortable and ready, one leg at a time, slide that leg up and gently let yourself roll over onto your side. Rest there for a moment or two. And then when you're comfortable on an exhale, pushing up with the top hand and the bottom elbow and finding yourself in a seated position. Well, easy pose, hands to heart, smiles on faces. Let's take a nice deep inhale in and exhale out. Namaste. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. I hope your abdominals are just a teeny bit sore tomorrow, and thank you for joining me. Have a great day.